Hear us, Lord, Holy Lord, Almighty Father, Eternal God, and deign to send your holy angel from heaven to guard, cherish, protect, visit, and defend all who are gathered together in this place. Everyone who drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. The water that I shall give him will become in him a spring of water, welling up to eternal life. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born anew, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. By upbringing and intellectual training, I belong to the children of heaven, but by temperament and by my professional studies, I am a child of the earth. Situated thus by life at the heart of two worlds, with whose theory, idiom, and feelings intimate experience has made me familiar, I have not erected any watertight bulkhead inside myself. On the contrary, I have allowed two apparently conflicting influences full freedom to react upon one another deep within me. Dear unknown friend, the card of the 14th major arcanum of the tarot places us in the presence of an angel in a robe which is half red and half blue, who is accomplishing or presiding over the accomplishment of a strange act, where he is pouring colourless water from one vase into another, or rather, he is making it gush almost horizontally between two vases, at an angle of about 45 degrees, the vases being held at a considerable distance from one another. An intellectual shock, and therefore an arcanum, something which one has to take hold of and apprehend beyond the usual plane of experience and thought. This invites us, therefore, to profound meditation, to a spiritual exercise. Let us follow this invitation. What is the problem that the card, its whole context, arouses spontaneously in the mind of he who looks at it attentively? What is the message of the angel with two wings, in a red and blue robe, holding two vases, one red and one blue, and making water gush in a mysterious way from one vase to the other? Is he not the one who bears the good news that beyond the duality of either or, there is, or is possible, still that of not only, but also, or both and? Does not the totality of the card, the angel of the card, suggest the problem of cooperating polarity or integrated duality? Does it not first of all suggest the presentiment or suspicion that perhaps it is thanks to the two wings, the two arms, the two colours of the robe, the two vases, that the water pours forth? That this water is the fruit and the gift of the both and of integrated duality, which jumps to one's attention as one looks at the card. Thus the idea which is presented first of all to the mind in the presence of the card of the 14th Arcanum belongs to the range of ideas relating to polarity, and what this latter offers in possibilities for the spiritual knowledge and realization, mystical, gnostic, and magical, of the hermeticist. In preceding letters, there has already been the question in diverse connections of a twofold polarity, that of polemic, war, which produces energy of an electrical kind, and that of cooperation or peace, which releases force of a vital nature. Now, the angel of the card of the 14th Arcanum invites us to return to the problem of this double polarity and twofold dynamic. In promising to throw new light on this subject, let us return to this. An expert of the first order in spiritual life and authentic spiritual experience, Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, has bequeathed to posterity a doctrine of fundamental importance. This is his doctrine of the divine image and likeness of man. This doctrine lends itself admirably to serve as a point of departure for a thoroughgoing investigation of this twofold polarity. The following are its essential points. As it says in Genesis, God made man in his image and likeness. The divine image and the divine likeness coincided in the first man before the original sin, but their coincidence did not persist after the fall. The image has remained intact, but the initial likeness has been lost. Man is, following the original sin, in the disfigurement of unlikeness, whilst conserving the image. Man was made in the image and likeness of God. In image he possesses freedom of will, and in likeness he possesses virtues. The likeness has been destroyed, however, man conserves the image. The image can be burnt in hell, but not consumed. It is damaged, but not destroyed. Though fate, as such, it is not effaced, but subsists. Wherever the soul is, there also will the image be. It is not so with the likeness. This remains in the soul which accomplishes the good. In the soul which sins it is wretchedly transformed. The soul which has sinned ranks with beasts devoid of intelligence. That's from St. Bernard of Clairvaux's Sermon on the Annunciation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. According to St. Bernard, the image is therefore the essential structure of the human being, and the likeness in him is the totality of function, or the functional structure. It is the essential structure of the human being, the image, which is indestructible, and which establishes freedom in an inalienable and irremovable way. Man is free and remains so through all eternity, on earth, in hell, in purgatory, in heaven, always and everywhere. Freedom is therefore an absolute fact. As such, it entails immortality. The argument that one finds again in Immanuel Kant's Critique of Practical Reason, for what is his categorical imperative, if not the divine image in man? With respect to the likeness or totality of function of the human being, a hotbed of sin, with its attractions towards evil, has taken root there. And it is immortal only in proportion to the measure that it conforms again to its image. Its immortality is optional. This is the essence of St. Bernard's doctrine. It gives rise to the question, If the divine image in man has not undergone any weakening, and if the divine likeness in him has partly abrogated and has had to make way for inclinations and habits tending towards evil, is there something in human life which counterbalances the bad inclinations in man's functional organism, opposing good inclinations to them? Yes. There is certainly something added to man's functional organism to play its role, in it the role of a counterweight to the leverage of vicious inclinations and habit which have become established since the primordial fall. This is the guardian angel. The guardian angel accompanies as a faithful ally the divine image in man, just as vicious inclinations have made their way into the human functional organism which was, before the fall, the divine likeness. The guardian angel undertakes the functions destroyed by original sin in the likeness and fills the breach wrought by them. He substitutes himself for functions destroyed through the fall. As the prayer of the surface of aspersion that I have put at the head of this letter states it, in praying to God to deign to send from heaven his holy angel to guard, cherish, protect, visit, and defend all those who are gathered together in this place, the angel acquits his charge in 5 ways. He guards, cherishes, protects, visits, and defends. He is therefore a flaming star, a luminous pentagram above man. He guards memory, that is, the continuity of the great past in the present, which is the preparation for the great future. It is the guardian angel who takes care that there is connection between the great yesterday, today, and tomorrow of the human soul. He is a perpetual memento with regard to the primordial likeness, with regard to the eternal mission assigned to the soul in the cosmic symphony, and with regard to the special room for the soul in my Father's house, where there are many rooms. If it is necessary, the guardian angel awakens recollections of the soul's previous earthly lives in order to establish continuity of endeavour, of the quest and aspiration of the soul from life to life, so that particular lives are not merely isolated episodes, but constitute the stages of a single path towards one sole end. The guardian angel cherishes the endeavour, quest and aspiration of the soul engaged on this way. This means to say that he fills in the breaks in the psychic functional organism due to the disfigurement of the likeness, and makes up for its failings, given the soul's goodwill towards it. Forced support never signifies substitution of the angel's will for that of man. The will remains free, always and everywhere. The guardian angel never touches on man's free will, and resigns himself to await the decision or choice made in the inviolable sanctuary of free will, in order to lend his assistance immediately if it is just, or to remain a passive observer, reduced alone to prayer if it is not. Just as the guardian angel is sometimes constrained not to participate in the soul's activity, this activity not being in accord with the divine image of the soul, so also he can sometimes take a greater part in human activity than usual. This activity being of a nature not simply permitted but also called for. Then the guardian angel descends from the point of his ordinary post into the domain of human activity. He then visits the human being. Such visits of the guardian angel do sometimes take place when their possibility and necessity coincide. But what the guardian angel does unceasingly is to protect the human being. Here he makes up for the failings of the human senses, which are deprived of their clairvoyance from before the original sin. He is the clairvoyant, helping the non-clairvoyant with respect to psychic and physical temptations and dangers. He warns, informs, and helps to appreciate. Nevertheless, what he never does is to suppress the occasions themselves of temptation. For as St. Anthony the Great said, without temptation there is no spiritual progress. Temptation belongs as an integral part to the exercise of human free will, which is inviolable both for an angel and for a demon. With respect to the last of the 5 functions of the guardian angel concerning man, namely his defence, it differs from the others in that it is turned above, towards heaven, and is no longer directed below or horizontally. In dealing with the question of the defence that the guardian angel accords to his protégé, we approach the holy mystery of the very heart of the guardian angel. For the nature of angelic love is revealed here, of which the following are some indications. Guardian angels remain above their protégés. This means to say, amongst other things, that they screen him from heaven, from the look directed below from above. The fact that human beings on earth are screened by their guardian angels from divine justice signifies, other than guarding, supporting, protecting and contacting, that guardian angels are the defenders, the advocates of man before divine justice. Just as Moses said to the Lord, when the children of Israel had committed the mortal sin of having preferred a god made of gold to the living God. But now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. So do guardian angels cover their protégés before the face of divine justice. This amounts to the declaration, whether explicit or implicit is not important. Forgive them their sins. If not, efface us from the book of life that you have written. This is the defence of guardian angels for their protégés. The guardian angel covers his protégé with his wings, in conferring on him his own merits before the eyes of divine justice, and also in taking on himself the faults of his protégé before the eyes of divine justice. It is as if he says, if the lightning of divine wrath must strike my protégé, my child, may it strike me instead of him. Or if he must be struck, may it strike both of us together. The guardian angel defends his protégé like a mother defends her child, without regard to whether he may be good or bad. It is the mystery of maternal love which lives in the heart of the guardian angel. Not all guardians are guardian angels. There are others who have diverse missions. But guardian angels, insofar as they are guardian angels, are mothers of their protégés. This is why traditional art presents them as winged females. And this is why the card of the 14th Arcanum of the Tarot also presents the angel as a winged female, dressed in a woman's robe, half blue and half red. Guardian angels, Or should I use the feminine form, Angeline's, of the manifestation of high and pure maternal love? For this reason, the Holy Virgin and Mother of God bears the liturgical title Regina Angelorum, Queen of the Angels. It is the maternal love in her that she has in common with the guardian angels, and which, in surpassing theirs, makes her their queen.